Live streaming is on.
Hello, I'm never sure when everything is working. Welcome to the award ceremony for the Brave Invitational. Um, so the Brave Invitational was inspired by a novel by James Bird, and I'll let you all know that I personally know James Bird. The novel is one that you should go out and get and read, even if you don't win first place here. I think it's an exceptional story about a person or a young individual in junior high just finding their way through the world, right? Finding out who they are, finding out their history. And this individual is actually has a learning disability and has almost like OCD. And so I just think it's a fascinating story. And it's called The Brave because it's just the individual's trying to find themselves. And I liken that, or will say that it's similar to what you all do in speech and debate, right? You're finding yourselves through the narratives, through the storytelling that you tell, through debate, through impromptus. And so I really was inspired by the book, and I wanted to title the um, the uh, the tournament after the book. So I guess before we begin, I'll just tell a little funny story of how I actually even met the individual, James Bird. We were sitting, I was on my way home from school on the bus in junior high, and this person I'd never met, never seen before in my life, turned to me and just said, "How come you never come over to my house anymore?" And I just looked at this guy with this perplexed, puzzled look of like, I don't know you. I've never been to your house. So that's such it was so such a strange question. But after that, it fostered years of friendships, and like I said, James has gone on to write inspirational movies, even this book, The Brave. And I guarantee this will not be the last time I bring this book because I've enjoyed it so much into what we do at ACLA Speech and Debate. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate all the competitors for being brave and right and doing something that most of your peers are afraid to do. Right, a lot of peers, a lot of students in junior high, high school, and we sometimes have elementary school competitors aren't like, hey, what do I want to do on a Friday, Saturday evening? I want to go stand and give speeches. So make sure you award yourselves, give yourselves a pat on the back for being brave and doing this. And I tell my kids who compete in speech and debate that every tournament is not about you versus anyone else. It's you versus yourself, right? How do you learn from each tournament experience? How do you grow? What do you take away from it? And hopefully you'll turn to someone, some random person, and say, "Hey, how come you never come over anymore?" Right, and make a new friend. But without further ado, let's thank everyone who made this tournament possible. We have Coach Haley, who warmed up the kids, right? Everyone went to the warm up rooms and got to warm up and get started and get ready to compete with Coach Haley, who is an exceptional competitor herself. So that's had been a treat for a lot of the kids. We do have to thank Miss Stephanie Mardo, our program director, who is responsible for really just anything that happens good in ACLA and any anything that it runs on time that is seems like it's organized. That's all because of our program director Stephanie. And we do have to say this is most likely going to be her final tournament in this role as our program director. She has gone on to do, of course, what she's going to do, make impact in the world, and she's been offered an exceptional opportunity that she's going to take advantage of, and she will be leaving UCLA. So we will definitely miss her. But I'm going to tell you, it won't be the last time we will see Stephanie at an ACLA event. So we have to thank her not only for all of her hard work that she did at this tournament, but we have to thank her for just everything that Stephanie has done for ACLA speech and debate. And I'm so sad that we're not at a live event, so she can hear the applause for that. I always tell the students one thing: Of course, you're the ones putting in the hard work, but you do have exceptional, wonderful parents who have pushed you. So make sure you turn, look at your parents, thank them for pushing you to do this. Take time out of their day to make sure that you're prepared and able to compete in speech and debate. This is a skill and activity that's going to stay with you and be around and really just enhance your abilities for a lifetime, right? No one's going to be look at you and be like, "Oh, you compete, you can speak well. Get out of here. We don't want you," right? This is a skill that no matter what profession you go into, no matter what you do in life, it's going to be something that um, really and strengthens you. So it's something that you'll carry with you. And I say, try all the events, right? If you're out there and you're like, oh, I only do this, I like this. Right now is the time to get out there and try everything, right? Try all the events, have fun. We have our little ACLA events just so you can get out there and try events and try something that maybe you have been thinking about but didn't want to do at a bigger event. Do it at one of our ACLA events. All right. The last group of people we have to thank are our Beckman high school students who are doing service of learning, and they were your judges. So you're going to get some excellent feedback on the ballots because they have a wonderful instructor. No, I'm joking. That's me. But you're going to get some feedback from them, and take that, and of course, take that into your next tournament opportunity. All right. So let's get to the awards. We will first go over middle school impromptu. And impromptu is an event where students are given a prompt and they have to speak. And they're supposed to speak for about 5 minutes, hopefully, off the top of the heads. And I know the kids call it off the dome, right? Right? These are not prepared speeches. You're just given a topic and you have to come up with a speech. So we will have 2 finalists and then the first place champion. So finalists in impromptu, middle school impromptu, we have Angelica Martinez. We have another finalist in middle school impromptu, Mia Magana. And your champion, first place in middle school impromptu, is Maxwell Washington. Next, we will look at high school impromptu. So these are our older students, same category, right? They're getting topics and they're speaking on them. We have 2 finalists and a champion. So finalists in high school impromptu is Sebastian Chamal. Finalist is Zara Washington. Taking first place and your champion in high school impromptu is Adriel Tamraz. Our next event is middle school pros. We have 1 finalist and 1 champion. Finalists in pros, we have Daniel Cavantes. And your champion in middle school pros is Mia Magana. Next, we have SPAR debate. SPAR debate is an event where students are arguing. They have to put forth their ideas. They have to construct coherent arguments and advocate for a position. So we have 2 finalists and a champion. We did have to combine high school and middle school SPAR. Finalist, Daniel Cavantes. Finalist, Maxwell Washington. And your champion in high school SPAR is Adriel Tamraz. All right. So hopefully you've been keeping track. One of the things that I have forgotten to tell you all is that we want to have acceptance speeches. So if you have a first place, we would like to hear from you, and we would like for you to meet with our program director, Stephanie Mardall, and there will be a link that goes out where you can meet with Stephanie for the for the acceptance speech. So again, if you've gotten first place in a event, we want you to meet with Coach Stephanie. We will give you a link. You'll get that email to you, and we would like for you to meet and just give an acceptance speech. Just talk about the events. Talk about what you liked about the events. Talk about how you prepared for it. You get other students excited and wanting to do speech and debate, and also just share what made this event and what made your speech so special. Why do you like to give it so much? All right. Now we're going to move on to our recorded events. So being able to communicate well does not just include speaking in public and speaking in front of people. We are in a new world and entering into a new arena where being able to speak recorded events or being able to speak virtually, just like I'm doing with you all now, is increasingly important. So we wanted to give our students the opportunity to practice that skill. So we have a couple of recorded events, and one of the recorded events we have is original narrative. And this is where a student has to give a speech, a personal speech about a personal experience that deals with the tournament theme. And of course, our theme is um, our tournament inspiration, The Brave, the novel by James Byrd. And so um, the original narrative, the students had to talk about how they needed to be brave. And we have high school original narrative. We have a finalist. We have a champion. We have a finalist, Zara Washington, and your champion in high school original narrative is Sebastian Shamal. Another event that we had recorded was storytelling. And for storytelling, students had to record their storytelling speeches. Storytelling is a children's story, and it's kids get to act it out. And so that's what they love, is they get to be dynamic and charismatic. So we have a champion and we have a finalist. So our finalist in middle school storytelling is Maxwell Washington, and your champion in middle school storytelling is Mia Magana. Our final event is our middle school original narrative, and we are going to have um, two finalists, and then we'll have our top three competitors. So our first finalist in middle school original narrative is Chloe Tantam. Tantam Jenk. Chloe is a finalist. And then another finalist, we have Angelica Martinez. In third place for middle school original narrative, we have Emma Schrecker. Second place for middle school original narrative, we have Daniel Cavantes. And your champion in middle school original narrative is Maxwell Washington. All right, those are all the awards. I would like to once again congratulate all the competitors. Hopefully we'll see you again. We do have another event coming up for our middle schoolers on April 10th. We'll have that information being sent out to you real soon. But the only way to get better is to get out there and compete. And again, you're just competing with yourself and saying, okay, I did this last tournament. How do I want to improve? Read those ballots, work with your exceptional coaches, get better. Everyone be safe and take care.